I decided today that I would stop playing a little bit of music while I do my YouTube videos. So I just here's a little bit of a song that will help you in your um, as you are going through your survival. You can feel it now. You know you're almost there. Oh, yeah, yeah. Gotta answer when you're called. So don't be afraid to face the world against all odds. Keep the dream alive. Don't let it die. If something deep inside keeps inspiring you to try, don't stop and never give up. Don't ever give up on you. Sometimes life can place a stumbling block in your way, but you gotta keep the faith. Bring what's deep inside your heart to the light and never give up. Don't ever give up on you. Don't give up on the pieces to complete the puzzle. The answer that can solve a mystery. Yeah. The key that can unlock your understanding. It's all inside of you. You have everything you need. So keep the dream alive. Don't let it die. If something deep inside keeps inspiring you to try, don't stop and never give up. Don't ever give on you. Sometimes life can place a stumbling block in your way, but you gotta keep the faith. Bring what's deep inside your heart, yeah, your heart to the light, and never. Okay, I don't know if you guys know the name of that song, but look it up. It's Yolanda Adams. Hopefully they don't copyright me, but anyways, Yolanda Adams, Never Ever Give Up. And I decided this when I said, you know what? Well, I do these videos. I decided that I would start using music. But anyways, the name of the video for today is Where Am I Now? Now, the first video was talking about like what I was going to be talking about, and like how I was going to structure the videos and stuff like that. And then other videos are following of like where my life is and what happened. But now today we're going to talk about, to bring it forward, is we're going to talk about where I am far as my healing process is going. Okay, so the last time that I think the last video I talked about was I had talked about like I had a problem trusting men and the pastor that was trying to take advantage of me while I was in New York. And we're putting that to the side because that was another video. You guys look at that other video. But today I'm going to talk about is where I am today in my healing process. Okay, so after I had written the book and everything, it was hard for me because I know God had told me to write it, but there was a lot of mixed opinions. And if like I've said before, like when you are writing a book about molestation and rape, people have swept underneath the rug. So when someone comes out and talks about their own family members, of course you're going to get a lot of opinions. But when God is backing you up, you'll be okay. And so I had to settle with that. But after I got through that phase and, and all of that, I came to the conclusion that, Shalonda, you're going to be all right. And through the various situations that I have been through, there are still certain things that will trigger me. And one thing that still triggers me, even with my healing process, is
will I ever be able to trust people completely based on what they tell me? And most of the time, like when I was going through this, I always would say yes to everybody and yes this and yes that. And so, and I always had a wall up. But then once I wrote this book and I was able to forgive everyone that I had to forgive, I was able to put the wall down and, and say, and God worked out some things and some situations. And, I was able to see that, that everybody's not like this. But the problem that I still have is actually dealing with, can I still actually trust people to be who they say they are? And a lot of times I say yes, but then I say no, because then it's like, if I trust you enough to allow you to say everything you're saying, well, will this relationship end up in a disappointment? And I have to, you have to put your guard down, but then you're still like probably saying, okay, God, is this one of the people that you actually sent in my life I'm going to be able to trust? And I have to say 50% of the time, if I use the discernment that God has given me, I'm able to quickly move myself out of the situation. But if I choose to ignore it because I always want to see the good in people, I'm definitely going to lead to my downfall. But I want to tell you guys something that that is really interesting, that God has given me the ability. I'm about 80% there to see who's there for me and who's not. And that's one thing that I am still striving to get to that point, but that's still one thing that I'm dealing with now, but I am so much better than I was last time. Another thing that I can say that what I was experiencing and I'm not experiencing now is that I used to dress for men to look at me and so I can get that attention, what I was seeking for back then. But now I can say that I'm dressing for myself. I had no self-confidence back then. I had a lot of issues. I had a lot of problems. I had a lot of different things going on. So now when I dress for myself and prepare myself for my husband. So many times in life, it doesn't look like, okay, well, what are you doing? But God knows what he's doing, even to the point, like I said, and I think maybe a video or two ago, is that God told me to throw all my pencil skirts away. And believe me, I love a nice pencil skirt, because most of the shirts that I buy, I always buy a pencil skirt because I know it's always going to fit me right. And, I always will have an outfit. But like I said, as you continue to stretch and gain weight, lose weight, they start to look a little small because, whatever. So that was one thing I had problems with. But now I can honestly say that as I dress and, keep myself up from top to bottom, is that God has really shaped me and who I am. Another thing that I had another problem with before is a lot of masturbation. And some people are scared to talk about it, but that's why God gave me this YouTube channel. Because as you have been molested and raped, you go through that. Like if the guy ain't there, then you're going to just satisfy yourself. And that actually is a sin. And God cannot use you in that aspect. God cannot use you to be who he's calling you to be if you're still doing that. And the Bible does say, when David was saying, he said, create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. And so you must be mindful of the fact that everything you do, God is saying, okay, no. You can't do this no more. You can't do this no more. And although we're struggling in the dark because honestly, we believe no one sees us, and no one sees us but God. And so that's another thing I dealt with is, that, and that is one of the major things that not just people that have gone through trauma and been taken advantage of at a young age, but a lot of people are still caught up in that, not just masturbation, even porn. A lot of people don't think they can be delivered from watching porn. Now, porn to me was something I was never interested in. I seen it maybe a couple of times and I was like, this ain't for me. But as I got older, I was never into that. But there's a lot of people that have been taken advantage of that are still caught up in that. And to be completely honest, God sees it. And that's another thing, that God cannot use us if we are, watching porn, masturbation. He cannot completely use it because there's a thing in our lives that God can use us, but the only way he could use us unless we completely surrender everything, even our hearts, God has really been dealing with me about my heart, because sometimes in certain situations it can make you very bitter. And so God has been dealing with me, and God has been dealing with me about that. And I'm gonna say years ago I had no conscience. I didn't care. I'm like, yo, this is just what it is, and this is what I'm gonna do. But did it bring me any joy? It brought me joy because I got what I want. Yeah. But in the end of the day, did I not feel like I was dirty? Absolutely not, because I was in sin. When you're in sin, a lot of us enjoy what we're doing. We don't care. But once you get to the knowledge of Christ, you still slip and fall until you make up in your mind that you want to do right. And so that was another thing that I dealt with. I said masturbation, people deal with porn. A lot of something else that I dealt with that I had a hard time with is self-worth. Years ago, I didn't feel like life was even worth living. It was just a hot mess. And I couldn't see myself, let's say years ago, doing what I am doing now. And I had no self-worth. I felt defeated in everything. I never would have thought that, life would be the way it is. Like, I was like, well, this is what it is, so I'm gonna accept this the way it is. But it's actually not that way. You have to know that whatever is going on, that he has everything in control. It's what you believe. See, the thing is what do you feel about yourself? Even women that are older than me, I'm 33 years old, and a lot of women I know, they have no self-worth. And I'm not saying they went through what I've been through, but a lot of women older than me, I'm talking about in their 40s and their 50s, they don't believe in themselves that they can be beautiful. They don't believe in themselves that they can be pretty. They don't believe in themselves that they can dress themselves up to make them look like who they are, because no one ever told them that they was pretty. No one ever told them they was beautiful. They was told that they was ugly their whole entire lives. And so there is something in us that God has given us to let us know that he will beautify. God said he beautifies the meek. And so we are all created in his image, and all we have to do is ask him. He will teach us what to do, what not to do. Take that off, put this on, do that, so that you can have self-worth. Another thing that I dealt with also when I was a lot younger and going through this, I just felt like, God, I just feel like I'm just completely worthless. But a long time of gaining who Christ was in my life and going through what I've been through, I have a lot of hope that no matter what's going on, that he's going to bring me to my expected end. No, I don't know when that is, but he's going to bring me to my expected end. And though God knows the things that my parents went through, I won't have to go through it. The way things my adopted parents went through, I won't have to go through that. And I tell God all the time, Lord, I'm waiting. Wait till I get my husband. That's gonna be. I cannot wait until I get my husband. I'm gonna share. I can't wait to share that testimony with you guys. But anyways, I was some things I dealt with, and I pray that these videos are really blessing people, and that you guys can see that no matter what situation that you're going through, I survived, and you can too. You guys enjoy the rest of this day.